Welcome back to the Paddock Girls Podcast, where we don't just watch the drama unfold, we live for it. And today we're talking about the new kids on the grid who are shaking up Formula One establishment. Kimi Antonelli, Isack Hadjar, and Ollie Bearman. They may be rookies on papers, but on track, these boys are fearless, fast, and already stepping on some very expensive toes. Whether it's Kimi's calm confidence, Isaac's aggressive racecraft, or Ollie's I was born for this attitude, this new class isn't waiting for their turn. They're here to take it. So let's break down what makes each one of them to watch, how they're stacking up against the veterans, and why this rookie era might just be the most exciting we've seen in years. On today's first part of a two-part episode, we have me, Melissa, Amy, Hanna, and Chelsea behind the scenes. So sit back, grab a drink, and maybe a notepad as we get started with all you need to know about our freshmen in F1. But before we get started on the actual episode, we have a hot topic to discuss real quick.
Now, I don't know what we should be considering this segment of our podcast right now. I currently have it literally in our notes listed as breaking news, the Horner of it all. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of the most applicable title because it's just wild. If you are anything like all of us, you have quite literally all of the F1 related notifications turned on for probably multiple platforms. But if you are not like us and you missed this news somehow, after 20 years together, Red Bull Racing has officially let Christian Horner go.
Now, I don't have the notifications on. I'm that weird person that I don't like notifications for social media on. There's just like text messages and like
Same.
WhatsApp. It's just too much for me. But waking up to the news in our PGP group chat, I literally was just like, well, this is a nice way to wake up on like Monday, Tuesday morning?
It was a Monday morning at like 7 a.m. East Coast time at least.
And so I was just like, well, happy Monday to me. Literally, I was just like, oh, okay, let's go. But following Wednesday's announcement of the reshuffle in the management arrangement at Red Bull, which also sees Racing Bull's team principal Laurent Mekies takes over as Red Bull's new chief, and Alan Perman slot into Mekies' former role at Racing Bull. So essentially, the man was promoted up to team principal and chief of the big Red Bull.
And then during his final message, Christian Horner said, I will remain employed by the company, but operationally, the baton will be handed over. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but it was weird, which most likely means he will go on gardening leave and be paid out for the remainder of his contract with the team. It's like something fishy is there, but they just don't want to tell us all that. So it's like, what's going on?
Well, I feel like the issue is at least as Americans, we don't tend to see a lot of like coaches on sports teams leave mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like for Europeans, at least in like the soccer football world, like that's sadly a kind of common occurrence. So the concept of gardening leave is just like so weird to my brain because we never really see that in sporting where like a coach will be fired and like they're still getting paid out for their remainder of their contract. Like
it must be nice.
It doesn't literally, but it just like does not happen like that in the States. This all comes a year after allegations of controlling and inappropriate behavior in the workplace were made against Christian Horner by a female employee. It's just, I'm a little frustrated as a girl who spent pretty much over a decade being a Red Bull girl to my core, where you won't let go of your team principal / CEO for allegations against a female employee.
That part.
But you'll let him go for performance.
That part.
Like it just
literally.
It rubs me the wrong way, and I feel like as of recording this podcast, I can officially say that I'm no longer going to call myself the Red Bull girl. I just like it's very hard to know that like a team that I so heavily supported just kind of like looked at allegations from a female and kind of went, well, that doesn't matter. It just icks me out a little bit.
It's just too little too late, if you're asking me. It's just like, it was well overdue, and bye.
Yeah, they're gonna
That's all I
need
can say.
major redemption story from our end, or at least from me, in order to like get back some of the faith, because their track record lately over the last couple of years, it's not it.
No, I will say, I really and truly do hope that Laurent Meeks has a fantastic time at the helm. I think he is going to really restore morale among the team. At least I hope he is able to do that. I'm also really interested to see how Perman does with V-Carb, Racing Bulls, whatever the heck you want to call them. I'm very intrigued to see how that goes. I do think it's also very interesting that so many people have left with Horner. There were 2 other people, one within marketing and one within another department, that both left with Horner.
It's interesting.
That I understand and appreciate the whole cleaning house concept, but I'm just kind of like, okay, why are we doing mid-season? You should have just yeeted him
why now?
Before the season started.
Why now?
Yeah, it also makes you wonder whether or not those 2 extra people who left, were they voluntarily done or involuntary done? Like, Christian Horner's leaving, I'm gonna leave too because that's my man. Or it's, oh, y'all been doing some stuff, time to go.
Yeah, it's just very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not to mention the rumors of
Max joining Mercedes.
Well, the Max rumors, but there's also the where the heck Horner's gonna land.
I swear, I will riot if Ferrari picks him up. I will literally I'm done. I will be done. I don't think it's gonna happen. Mad. Just because Ferrari and their whole legacy, I don't see it happening. But again, the rumor mill has just been so.
He's not Italian.
No, exactly. And no, he's not. He's English, but still, yeah. I mean, Fred is French, so
he's not Italian. He wouldn't fit in.
I mean, Fred is French, but I don't think he just fits in with the Ferrari culture either. So
yeah,
no,
But
it's just chaos.
Yeah, and then the rumors with Max and Mercedes, you know how he's got his own private jet, and people insanely will track it on Skyscanner or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, they saw him apparently leave Monaco and go to
wherever
UK
Toto was, yeah.
Yeah. And you're just guys, I'm all for you do you, boo, but I'm man, we watch these people so closely. They're patience. If it was going to happen, it would happen.
It's impressive, but also a little
concerning.
Consider this my PSA that celebrities and F1 drivers are people too, and we need to treat them like they're frickin' people and not like they are simply existing for our entertainment.
No,
thank you.
Exactly.
Rant over.
Literally.
Now, while we could absolutely yap about the chaos that is Red Bull, the chaos that is Christian Horner, and the what-ifs surrounding Max Verstappen, and heck, half of the grid with silly season
right around the corner
soon, I guess. We do have to talk about the absolutely iconic rookies that we have this season, and I will call them iconic because honestly, all of them are. I have no other word to describe them other than iconic.
And iconic for the books.
Indeed. They are. I love them.
Yeah.
They've been a lot of fun to watch if you ask me. But before we deep dive into the 3 rookies this episode, I'm just going to go over the current standings for our little freshmen. So in P7, we have Kimi Antonelli. P11, we have Isack Hadjar. P16, Liam Lawson. P18, Ollie Bearman. P19, Gabriel Bortoleto. P20, Franco Colapinto. And I do have to mention some honorable mentions. We have Jack Doohan, who's currently in P21. We all know why. Alpine, I'm looking at you. And of course, everyone's favorite rookie, your rookie's favorite rookie, Fernando Alonso, in P14. Now, if you've been listening to PGP for a while, you know we love doing our little history, our little spotlight episodes, and we're going to start off with one of my favorites, Kimi. So we all know him as Andrea Kimi Antonelli, but we all love him as Kimi Antonelli, and he is the current rookie driver for Mercedes AMG Petronas F1, whatever it's called now. Hannah's clapped, so I'm going to say that it's right, hopefully. Now, he was born on August 25th, 2006, and yes, he will be turning 19 in a month, and I feel very, very old right now. I literally was just like starting off high school that year. It's insane. And he also literally just recently graduated from school, to give you an idea how young the Merc driver is really. Now, he was born and raised in Bologna, Italy. He is the son of sports car driver Marco Antonelli. And Kimi had started karting at the age of 7, where he dominated in various divisions, and then later on joined the Mercedes junior team in 2018, where he also showed dominance in different areas. Kimi later skipped F3 by going into F2 in 2024 for Prema, driving alongside Ollie Bearman, where he finished the season in 6th place. If that gives you any foreshadowing at the fact that he skipped a whole class of the sport, I don't know what does. And of course, Kimi joined Mercedes, driving alongside George Russell, replacing the iconic legend Lewis Hamilton.
So it should surprise absolutely nobody that I chose to yap about Isack Hadjar, because we all love him.
Bestie.
Literally the Pookie rookie.
Everybody's favorite. If someone tells me they don't like Isack Hadjar, I have questions.
Red flag. Automatic. Literally.
Now, for people who know absolutely nothing about Isack, he is 20 years old. He was born September 28th in 2004. And that number really hurts to write because it makes me feel really old as a millennial. He is French and Algerian, but he drives under the French flag, and he was born and raised in Paris, France. His motorsport career started when he began competitive kart racing at the age of 7. Afterwards, he debuted in sports car racing at the Ginetta Junior Winter Series, where he then graduated up to Junior Formula in 2019. He finished 3rd in the 2020 French F4 Championship with FFSA Academy, and then moved on to the Formula Regional European Championship in 2021, where he achieved multiple victories and he finished 5th in his rookie season. He then entered the Formula Regional Asian and the FIA Formula 3 Championships in 2022 with High Tech Racing. He ended up placing 3rd in the Formula Regional Asian Championship and achieved multiple wins in both series. When he moved on to Formula 2 in 2023, he ended up finishing runner-up to Gabriel Bortoleto in the following season with Campos Racing. His success in F2 saw him nicknamed Le Petit Prost, which is after F1 legend Alain Prost, by the French media, which I just think is really, really cute. We don't see a lot of... It's very fitting. I feel like if you know anything about Alain Prost, it kind of makes sense when you think about driving styles for both of them. It's very fitting, and I honestly kind of forgot that he was dubbed Le Petit Prost, and I need F1 to bring that back, please and thank you. He also has been a member of the Red Bull Junior team since 2022, and obviously he signed for Racing Bulls for the 2025 season only, which means he is technically out of contract come the end of this season. Now, it would not be a PGP episode if one of us did not bring you a fun fact. And when I went down the Isack rabbit hole, because of course I did, I found that Isack, like another rookie, initially grew fond of motorsports because of watching a Pixar movie. and it should be very obvious which one it is, and that is Cars. I love that so many of the younger drivers are like being able to be like, yeah, no, I was influenced by Cars to get into motorsport. I just think that's crazy.
I love that. It's so cute.
It's also just really, really wholesome.
It is.
It brings me so much joy.
This Disney girl, when she hears that, gets really happy because it's like, oh my God. And then the next driver we're going to talk about is our very own Ollie Bearman, also known as Ollie. He is a young British racing driver born on May 8th, 2025. Again, that age. Our 90 babies. Like, it's
We're
hard
crying.
to hear that. In Chelmsford, England, he began karting at the age of 8 and quickly rose through the ranks, winning several national and international titles. After dominating the junior karting scene, Bearman transitioned to single seniors in 2020. Wow, that was only 5 years ago.
Time just flies. Like COVID.
Where did the time go?
Right? By 2021, he made headlines by becoming the first driver to win both the Italian and ADAC Formula 4 championship in the same year. His success earned him a spot in the prestigious Ferrari Driver Academy and a promotion to the FIA Formula 3 scene in 2022, where he impressed with consistent podiums. Like, that man came in and just continued to dominate. I went back in before I wrote this and watched one of his 2022 seasons in Formula 3 on F1 TV, and I was just like, oh wow, like, this is not necessarily the driver that we saw back then now, but like, I want that Ollie to come out, please. In 2023, Bearman moved to the Formula 2 with Prema Racing, earning 4 wins and solidifying his reputation as a top prospect. His big break, though, came in 2024 when he was called up by Ferrari to substitute for Carlos Sainz during the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Despite the last-minute debut, Bearman stunned the paddock by finishing 7th in the race, becoming the youngest ever Ferrari driver to not only score points, but also to be like in a race in such short notice. It's like, so what's going on? Where do I go?
Hello?
Okay, let's do it. And that man, he expressed in like all those interviews, I'm super nervous, like, what's going on? But that man left no breadcrumbs.
Literally.
And,
Such a slay.
Literally. That performance helped him secure a full-time F1 seat with Haas for the 2025 season. We also saw him pop into the Haas in 2024 when Kevin Magnussen was suspended.
Oh my God, yes, I remember that.
Yep.
I forgot that happened.
I forgot we have seen somebody get a race ban.
So he was to my understanding, and I went and did a little looking. I didn't have a lot of time to really research this, but to my understanding, he was one of the only drivers that have been a backup driver for Formula 1 team and been called so regularly to support his teams. So that is a highlight. So he was a Formula 1 driver without being an official Formula 1 driver, which is amazing. But it was able to help him secure a full-time F1 seat with Haas for the 2025 season. And at just 20 years old, Ollie Bearman is considered one of the most exciting young talents on the Formula 1 grid. I'm excited.
I mean, his F3 and F2 days, I mean, that kid was like Mr. Consistency. It was impressive to get to watch that like unfold live.
I know a lot of people just typically only watch Formula 1. That's sometimes
me.
We forget like some of, and it's okay, I forget all the time, to watch Formula 3 or Formula 2 or even Formula 4. But going back and like watching these races like of Ollie, I was like, oh wow, it's just as exciting. But like seeing the younger talent
come through,
really dominate was cool.
Yeah. I always try to keep tabs on the F2 drivers because they obviously
Or
they're
the future.
further up in this series. So, like, they've got a higher chance of eventually ending up in F1. So I'm always like, I want to see the names. So I at least kind of like recognize some of them if and when they wind up in the F1 scene, either as a reserve driver or heck, even in a seat.
Mm-hmm. And we want to see them in seats. Let it be
Yes.
known. Let it be known.
Make
But I
it
think
so.
my favorite thing about Ollie is just seeing his dad, because that man is always stressed out. And at that Saudi Arabian race in Ferrari, like poor guy. I can just imagine how stressed he is week in, week out.
But we love how much his dad like shows up and is there for him.
Mm-hmm.
I know, of course, like some of the older drivers, like Lando's dad's always there.
Mm-hmm.
Max's dad's always there.
Lewis's dad's there.
Dad. But I haven't seen many rookies' dads like there consistently every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But like Ollie's dad is like always showing up on the F1 TV scene of like watching his son like so intently on the TV, and I love a man like that. Like,
I mean, it is expensive. So I mean, because part of me wonders, are the parents, like, I'm assuming their parents are covering their own flight cost. I very much so could be wrong. So please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is all of my kind of just like, I'm making assumptions over here, but I'm assuming that the parents have to pay their own flight costs, and that's expensive.
Unless they got points.
Especially if they've got, like, and well, the other thing is that, like, some of the drivers have younger siblings.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Kimmy's a younger sister that, like, his parents can't just, like, always be gone.
I mean, the kid just graduated, like, the equivalent of, like, high school for crying out loud.
Which is crazy.
Though, how much, like, Kimi, especially this season, has been, like, so attentive to his family and his, like, sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that, or his sister, excuse me. And he's, like, always, like, grabbing her bag and, like, stuff like that, like, holding her hand. And I'm like...
It's cute. It's really cute. Now, I want to mention, speaking of cute, because it just popped into my mind recently, my FYP on TikTok has been a lot of pictures of Isack and Dorian Pin when they were younger in like their karting days, and they were like little cute little buttons. I just wanted to put them both in my pockets because like you can tell like they like got along pretty well, and like the pictures of them like hugging or like Isack making a face and like Dorian's just like chilling. I don't know, it was just really cute. It's just like seeing how they all start the same. And not to go on a tangent, but like how like the different, I don't want to say like, yeah, I guess like the different chances or different like opportunities that like the male drivers get compared to like the female drivers. Cause like Dorian's like a pretty good F1 Academy driver.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so it's like, I mean, a lot of the girls in the F1 Academy are just as good and all that stuff. But we got Isack who's in F1, which kudos to him. I love him too. So, but it's just like that disparity between the two. But yeah, so now we can talk about like our favorite things about them. Trust me, I can. There's so much to like say about these three drivers, but let's just get started with how this season, their first one, has been going for them. For Kimi, the first race of the season down in Melbourne, he was actually the first Italian driver since Antonio Giovinazzi in 2021. And the third youngest driver to appear on the grid. And he scored his first points in that race in particular. So if that doesn't give you an idea of how the hype that was going around the season before, how he like, you know, kind of owned up to it and all that stuff, I don't know. It just speaks volumes. Now, he got sprint pole in Miami for the sprint race, but he actually really struggled with some incidents involving Max. And I believe, if I remember reading and remember correctly, with Oscar, and he just struggled to keep the spot. But the fact that he got sprint, I believe, actually made him one of the youngest sprint pole holders in the sport history. Again, just shows that he pretty much was not coming to play, and he really held up to his reputation going into Mercedes, because I feel like Mercedes doesn't really sign on such young rookies. And we all know, we all had our opinions. Even I was just like, I remember being like, I hope he holds up to it and doesn't fall to the pressure, because we know how the sport is. But we also know he's probably Toto's favorite So, sorry, George. I mean, we all know it's probably true, and we know the rumor mill that we spoke about earlier, so yeah.
No lies detected, bestie.
Exactly, yeah. And so he might be that generation's, dare I say, Max Verstappen, maybe the Lewis Hamilton. He's definitely someone to watch, for sure. Mm-hmm. Now, he did face some DNFs in Imola, his home race, unfortunately, in Spain and in Monaco. Really, if you ask me, they weren't really his fault. If I remember correctly, it was just like all car issues because even George like DNF'd in one or two of those races. But then the greatest moment so far for him in the season, he actually placed third, securing a spot on the podium at the Canadian Grand Prix. I was so happy for him, so ecstatic. It's just seeing him up there, especially a rookie in itself, and their first season in the sport it's great to see because we know how hard it is, especially we look at Nico and how long it took him to get a podium finish, and Kimi was able to get it so soon into his career. It's like, yes, go Kimi. So I cannot wait to see this kid. Oh, we were all just like, go. So, and yeah, very fun race to watch too.
Now, Isack Hadjar's season in F1 did not start as planned. At least that would be my guess. I definitely do not think that it started as he planned for it to. When we kicked off the season in Australia, we saw Isack crashing out in the formation lap, which sucked because it earned him a do not start, which kicked off the season with a DNS, which is just kind of wild to think about. But as the season went on, he really kind of picked up momentum. He got his first F1 points in Japan, where he finished in 8th place. His best finish so far for the season is his 6th place in Monaco. He only, currently, knocking on wood as we speak, has had one DNF where he experienced that last race at Silverstone, which was just painful to see. Overall, he really has had a pretty decent start to his season. He's scored several point finishes across his rookie season. He's currently sitting in 11th in the driver's standing, which is wild to think about. And he is rocking around with 21 points, which is just, that's not crazy, but like,
it's impressive.
That's like nothing to be ashamed of. Like, that's pretty damn good.
He performs well.
Yeah, he's been very consistent this whole season.
Yeah.
Which is incredible to see.
Yeah, especially since the fact that I believe he was the last of the rookies to make it into every single qualifying session up until, I forgot what race it was, but he like didn't make it into Q3, and that was like the final one. I was like, dang. I wanted him to keep on going with that streak. But even seeing him,
I think it was Austria.
Yeah, and seeing him like being able to like do that like speaks a lot for himself. But
I think the craziest thing is the fact like we have to keep in mind this kid is driving a V carb. It's not like expected to do well. Like P6s are not expected for that car.
But oh the Lord, how often it has been up there. Both of them.
And even in practice sessions and in the quality sessions, they have been up there.
It has definitely shown that is the better car of the Red Bull team, V-Carb, dare I say, versus Red Bull for just the consistency in the drivers alone. And it doesn't have a curse. Sorry. I'm always going to bring up the curse until it's officially broken and you haze and like...
Maybe it's broken now with Horner leaving. One can hope.
I'm for that.
We'll see. Hope. We have half of the season left.
Only time will tell.
Exactly.
And then Ollie. So, a little bit of a rocky start, but plenty of learnings, I would say. At the Australian Grand Prix opener, Ollie crashed in both FP1 and FP3 and missed one session due to gearbox issues. and qualified poorly. He still managed a 14th place finish though. So even though pace was lacking, he stayed resilient, I would say, and collected essential data for the team that I hope they took in order to do better on the car. But he did turn struggles into sparks, and then next up in China, Haas was able to turn things around and a surprise upgrade shuffled both drivers into the points, where Bearman got his first points of the season, finishing 8th, which was later promoted due to other penalties, and his teammate Ocon was able to get 7th. Now, I will say he has had a little bit of a struggle this year. I don't necessarily know if it's him or if it's the car because it's a Haas. It does seem a little bit though he's like still trying to figure out that car and like how it works, because early races highlighted uncertainties. Preseason testing saw bodywork issues with like the aerodynamics, and in Melbourne the car felt broken, like he said on the radio on the first lap, pushing Haas to go into like data recovery mode, or maybe it's like recovery mode of what happened last year to this year and figuring out what's going on. But home race headaches at Silverstone, Bearman achieved his best qualifying yet, getting 8th, but a red flag in the pit lane earned him a 10-place penalty.
That was hard.
It was his second this season, dropping him to 18th, and that has to be a real gut punch at home. I just hope for the rest of the season we see comeback Ollie come into play.
Exactly. We need to. I think, if I remember correctly, I feel like so far every rookie has had trouble at their home race, because Kimi did at Imola, and then we have Ollie here. Liam doesn't have one because he's from New Zealand.
Isack doesn't have one because there's no longer
he's
a
French. Yeah. Bringing it back, please. I forgot who else is a rookie all of a sudden. Scrolls up.
We haven't had an opportunity for Bortoletto to have
his is coming up. Franco's Argentina, and then Jack did have one, but Jack also had issues.
And that didn't go well for him either.
So maybe Gabriel will.
Rookies and home GPs are just cursed, it seems. At least for this year.
Yeah.
I would just say, like, let Gabby or Franco be the comeback people.
Well, Franco doesn't have one because he's Argentinian. Yeah.
Then Gabby Bortoletto, please be the comeback person.
Yeah.
Break the curse.
Hey, you never know.
Curses exist.
That saw her finish on the podium last week, so.
Don't even get me started.
Insane.
We're still off that high right now. We'd love to see them continue to do well for sure. And of course, you already know our staple of PGP, our predictions, but with a twist, because we are going to predict how the rest of the season will look for our 3 rookie drivers. Now, I think personally for Kimi, he probably will continue to do well for the rest of the season. He's just shown us time and time again what he's capable of with earning that sprint pole and later on a podium finish. I think he will be performing well so long that Merc can stay up to shape. He will be fine. I'm just interested to see what goes on contract-wise with a potential switcheroo with his teammate. Only time will tell, and trust us, we will be here to talk about that.
The tea will be piping hot.
Exactly.
I am the girl with all of the notifications turned on, so like the minute I see stuff, it's going in that PGP group chat, and we're all going to lose our minds. It's fine. We'll be fine.
Exactly.
It's fine. We will get through it together, people. Honestly, for me, I think the most impressive thing about Kimi is the way he has made haters and doubters eat their words. Mm-hmm. Myself absolutely included in that eating of words. Because y'all definitely heard me on the pod being very critical of Toto and the choice to put somebody so young in the Mercedes. But Kimi, time and time again, has just impressed me beyond words. I really and truly think the future holds nothing but amazing things for him. We really just need Mercedes to give him a consistent car, for the love of God.
No more engine failures, please.
Yeah.
Please.
I will say that, speaking off what Amy said, last year we were all a little hesitant on it because we're like, why isn't
We all
Schumacher
were.
like given the opportunity?
Carlos,
things like that, and why are we asking for a exception on a super license for this
A
kid
17-year-old
at the time? Yeah. And we're like, isn't there those drivers out there that can still get the job done but already have the super license and have earned their place per se? Boy,
we were
ate
wrong.
the words.
Maybe
And-
Toto was right. He didn't want to miss his chance on another possible Max Verstappen, that's for sure.
Literally,
He might get his chance now at the actual one.
I could see a multi-contract coming out of this
100
for that kid.
100%. I can see it happening too. Definitely will. Now, we gotta go on to my little rookie that I love, Isack. Now, I think the same for him as well too. I'm not a big fan. Everyone knows I'm not a fan of Red Bull or VCarb. I like VCarb more than actual Red Bull. I feel like they treat their drivers a lot better. And something, again, that car has been performing, both cars have been performing so well compared to the actual main Red Bulls, because even Max has been having trouble this season. And I think it's just up for him this season. I think he only had a 1-year contract, so I wouldn't be surprised if they sign him on for like maybe a 2-year. I would be big surprised if they don't. But I don't see that happening. The only thing I beg, do not promote him up to that Red Bull seat, please. I don't want to see the curse. It hurts to see Yuki struggle as much as he's been struggling. And it even hurt to see Liam as well too, because I just feel like no driver deserves to get their driver reputation tainted like that, to be honest. And especially for our rookie. Exactly, yeah. Especially for like our rookies and everything. We saw with like Jack, and Jack deserved more of a shot, and then now we're seeing Franco struggle, which we will talk about next episode too. Yeah, so Isack, I think he will be doing good, and I'm very excited to keep an eye on him as well.
Honestly, so mote it be. Yes, I am the witchy one. I am absolutely going to manifest that Isack never in a million years has to suffer the curse of the second Red Bull seat, because no, I do not want to watch this adorable little Frenchie struggle. I want to watch him slay the rest of the F1 season. I am really kind of crazily hoping for an Isack podium based on my past predictions, but at this point, I will settle for some top 5 finishes. Like, I want more Isack in the points. I would love more Isack in the top 5. If we get an Isack Hadjar podium, I may lose my mind.
You will hear like screaming from the United States. That's
Same.
all. It's gonna be secret night screaming.
FaceTiming, like screaming at the top of our lungs, not able to move from our couches for the rest of the day.
If he gets podium, I will get merch for Isack. Mark my words.
Yeah, I already done.
I love the kid. So
I ordered one of his rash guard shirts.
I love that.
It's my new favorite sleeping thing.
There you go. There you go.
Out of the Pink Miami merch, I was like, you're mine. Now, this is also probably my favorite to predict on, because you all know I love him. We all love him. It's just what it is. But I really see him just staying more consistent in VCarb. I think Red Bull, the seat is off the table. It isn't in his reach right now for him. And I don't want it to be in his reach right now for him. So stay in your lane, Red Bull. I do hope for a 3rd/4th place from him from this season, but we might need to see some key players be out of the way first, though. We shall see, though this season did deliver a Hulk podium, so I'm kind of ready for everything at this point. Give me what you can. I'll be ready.
Hanna is 100% right. If Steak Sour can pull out a podium, I definitely could somehow see a VCarb podium. I'm at minimum going to manifest more points for like all of the midfield teams because please, yes.
No, exactly. As Hannah was talking, I was like, this little like thing sparked into my mind. I like seeing different teams on the podium, from the typical like McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. And I like those drivers that are up there, like good for them. But give me like a curveball. Give me something random. Like I love seeing Pierre up there when him and Esteban got the podium finishes. I forgot what race it was, but it happened last year. It was a great moment. Even seeing like Fernando like at the beginning of last year like being up there as well too was fun. But just like seeing those like underdogs going up there would be really satisfying. Again, Nico, oh, what a great moment. The man deserves his kudos, because that was fun to watch. And like even then, like if we see Liam up there, yes, if we see Yuki at this point, I would be very excited.
What they did to that second Red Bull car.
Again,
I don't get it.
Hopefully that curse has ended with the staff changes.
Yuki needs his redemption era as well. Like, I'm calling it, please. But no, Mel, you're 100% correct. And as much as I love seeing those top teams being in like the top positions, I also am like, give my middle and end field teams some love.
A chance.
Like, they deserve it. And sometimes like they throw us off and they like are like, oh, I'm dominating, and we get top points or on the podium. You're like, I need this more often. Like, and I don't know why, but it's like a good feeling that you get where you're just like, it's like another sense of like proud or like empowerment for them, because you're like, you know, how hard that they struggle and how hard they've worked, and so to earn something like that, you're like, you really deserve it. I'm not saying that the other teams don't deserve it, because like they paid it off and they're working, but like a team who never gets points and is always at the end to finally get points and or get on a podium, that has to not only boost the team's morale, but the driver's morale, and like
absolutely
100%. And it's always nice like seeing, because like after the Nico podium, like we saw like Max had celebrated with him. I know we all saw the picture circulating of Mercedes sending a bottle of champagne because poor Steak Sauber did not have any. Not only the Mercedes but, and also
Aston did too.
Exactly. Yep. I was about to just mention Aston did too. So it's like, it just goes to show like even the other teams celebrate.
They care.
They care, exactly. Because at the end of the day, it's like, it's one big circus, and they're all one big traveling circus family.
You kind of have to. After so many like races, like 24 races a year, you see them.
And the years.
I don't know
and
how
all that.
many times a year that you actually see them, or how many days out of the year. But I'm like, after some time, like, you may get tired of seeing the person, but you do form some type of a friendship or
like a bond,
a family. With especially with your team, I would think.
100%. Agreed.
Now, we can probably talk about this all day, because like I definitely can, because I'm still not over Sauber and or just how we predict.
I don't think we all never will be.
It will probably go with me to the grave. But now, with the up and down, I have to say with Haas, it's been a bit hard for me to predict this. But I would love to just see a consistent points from Ollie for the rest of the year, even if it's just a steady 9th and 10th, because improvement is improvement at this point. And while we've talked about the amazing careers this season that we've had so far from like Isack and Kimi, Ollie has not necessarily had the greatest start to his season. But I do know, just looking at his past, he's got the drive and he's proved himself before. So I'm just kind of waiting, going like, come on, like, let's go.
Yep. I'm on the same page as you, Hannah. I see the potential 100% in Ollie. We saw how he did in that Ferrari. And every time I think about that race, I always think about like that post-race video with Ferrari. He's like, first of all, my condolences to Carlos. It's like, the man just lost his appendix. Like, it's just funny. It just like it makes me giggle every time. But again, I see like the potential, especially like when you guys like mentioned how he like ran the whole thing in like the F2, F3, F4, all the other series and everything. But I will say Haas has been pretty decent. I feel like it's also changed since Gunther has left. I've had a lot of opinions because I feel like if Gunther was there, it would probably be a lot more tougher for not only Ollie, but also for Esteban. Because we all know how
they would survive.
No, I wouldn't survive.
No.
I would have cursed him out like a long time ago. But I mean, unfortunately, like I think him right now in Haas, he probably will stay somewhere in the mid to lower field, and it's totally not a bad thing. It's just that it's Haas. That's what it is, and I think that the dude, the Bearman, can just go to a better team in the future. But that's me, and I think he deserves it as well too. I think Haas is a good like rookie team to join, not the best team overall, but I would like to see him in a higher ranking team in general in his future in his career in F1.
See, for me, I really need Haas to get this car together
ASAP.
Because Ollie really showed us that he can perform in an F1 car as well as being able to perform under major pressure. I need a better car for him. Because I have to second Hanna that I'm not necessarily expecting like podium finishes from Ollie. Would I love to see that?
Yes.
Yes. Would I love to be wrong about like the expectation that we're not going to be seeing podium finishes? Yes, I would love to be proven wrong.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I am at this point just really looking for, like everybody else said, I really want consistency for him. And I am really just hoping for a better 2026 season.
Especially with the new regulations coming in next year. And it's going to be interesting because, like, Steak's going to be Audi. We already see how that Audi money is affecting Steak. And then we have Cadillac.
Which is just a giant question mark.
That's a very big question mark right there. And then, what's his name? Newey is going to be, like, 100% in
Aston.
Thank you. I like blanked on the name.
I saw it happen in real time.
And I'm just like, and what was it again? But yeah, I think 2026 should be an exciting year in general. Not besides like the whole silly season. It's honestly, if we're being honest, been like a whole like silly years. But the regulation changes and everything. It's gonna be my first time as a fan seeing the regulation changes come into place. Hannah's like,
buckle
oh my god,
up, bestie.
You're in for a roller coaster, but I do have to say, I feel like next year's like FIA changes and regulations is probably one of the most strenuous and like exponential change or changes plural that I've seen in years past.
Yeah. It's gonna be very interesting.
I will say that like the engine changes over the years have always been something of like a major change, but this one like not only brings like aerodynamic changes, it brings like tire changes, it brings kind of a little bit of everything under the sun wrapped in a pretty little bow and says like, here, change your car. We're also leveling the playing field a little bit and like figure it out.
That is the thing that I feel like I'm most excited for with all of the rookies that we currently have on the grid, because we only have a few people who are out of contract come the end of this calendar year. And I really think that 2026 is going to allow for just a more level playing field for both veteran drivers and the rookies who will be in their second full year of F1. I think we could see a really wide array of podium finishers, which I think is like the most exciting thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I agree. I don't know how I still feel about like the changes in general.
Facts.
Because like it almost feels like they're changing it to be more of a stock car, like you see in like IndyCar and like other racing series, like more and more. And I'm like, one thing that I feel like F1 has going for it is the individuality of every single team drivers. Well, you have some key components that like have to be the same across the board. They're able to really do a lot of their own tweaks and changes that kind of makes each car a little different. So I will see if will be interested to see if we see the gap kind of close, and if like over the next couple of years and major changes, if we start seeing more of a stock car come out of the series.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also a massive IndyCar fan, so I like a spec series. I think it's really interesting. I think the thing I'm most intrigued about with 2026 is the fact that the cars are going to be a little bit bigger. And I don't know how
Monaco.
I truly don't know how I feel about what these 2026 cars are going to be looking like, but that's a whole different podcast episode.
Those chicanes,
because we all have thoughts.
Those chicanes are going to be brutal.
Stay tuned for a possible episode on all the changes in our
like the tire degradation with the bigger car with the more weight with those chicanes.
No DRS. Even
Ugh.
though our man Oscar's very happy about that.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah, it's going to be
interesting.
Very, very.
And to close out the episode, we have a moment of the weekend for you. Since we don't have a race weekend this weekend, I know, sorry, sad. Next one is Spa. Stay tuned. But for all of our racing fans, Goodwood Festival of Speed is currently going on. We recorded this podcast on Sunday. You'll see it on Wednesday. Sorry, guys. You'll be able to watch this in the past tense. There have been some F1 driver sightings. F1 drivers racing like old cars of their teams. Like Sauber had Gabby in it driving their show car. Adrian Newey is there. We saw Dua Lipa there as well. It's been pretty cool to see. I forget, I want to say Mick was there, and then there was a couple other drivers.
Seb was there too.
Yes.
He usually is.
Frederick Festi was there, and I'm pretty sure Leah Block is potentially there.
Yeah. So I've only seen brief highlights from them on social media, but from what I see, it is definitely really great, and it is on my bucket list to go one year.
We should all go. PGP trip.
I'm for it. Next year.
All right, besties, that is a wrap on part 1 of our rookie season stories. Y'all know we love a deep dive over here. We hope you liked learning more about the rookie drivers on the grid, from the pressures of their teams to mastering the speed of these machines and surviving the media circus that comes with racing at the highest level. Make sure that you tune in next time for part 2, where we are going to continue exploring the rest of the rookies on the grid, because there are more. If you liked this episode, do not forget to follow Paddock Girls Podcast wherever you listen so you never miss an update. While you're there, please leave us a review. It helps more motorsport fans find the show. And of course, do not forget to keep up with us on socials for extra content, behind the scenes chatter, your dose of F1 fun between episodes. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Paddock Girls Podcast. Until next time, we'll see you on the next lap. Thanks for joining us in the paddock. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Not the